welcome back to the Rochester Local Podcast. I'm Becky Monpetit. I am the owner of Rochester Local, and today I am joined by Danni Trester. Danni Trester is my neighbor. Before we get any further, though, I do want to thank the Edit Shop for the fine styling of our set. If you have, I know, isn't it gorgeous? If you have any styling needs, please contact the Edit Shop. You can find their link in profile or in the comments below or wherever this is posted. So, hi, Danni.
Hey.
Hi. So, Danni, you are my neighbor. And, you know, I was thinking when you were coming over here, how did we meet? How did we first meet? And we have a little bit of conflicting stories about this. I think it was when I was screaming bloody murder when I thought my kids were abducted. You kindly thought it was maybe before that, right?
I can't remember, but
It was either at one of Danny's plant stands or I thought my children had been abducted because of a miscommunication. Not funny at the time, but I can sort of laugh about it now. Anyways, Danni and her husband Peter came to my aid, and that is the first time I met Peter. So,
anytime I hear the name Evie, though, I hear the sound of your voice screaming in the air. Right?
It's true. I was looking for her, and she was in my basement. So that story has ended well. So no one worry. So.
Oh man.
Here we are. Now Danny's on the podcast. So here we are. We're gonna get to know Danni a little bit better today. We're gonna ask Danni some of the questions that the readers have submitted, kind of getting to know her and what she loves about Rochester. So before we do that though, Danni, tell us how long you've lived in Rochester and where you moved from.
Yeah, I'm originally from Wisconsin. I've kind of moved in a couple places in Wisconsin, but when I moved to Rochester, I was living in Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Sheboygan, so fun to say.
Cheese capital. Woo. But I've been here a little over 6 years, which seems like 6 years. It sounds like a long time, but it feels like a week. So much.
Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Something.
Something like that. Okay, so Danni, what do you do?
I am, I would say multifaceted person. My main gig is I'm a tailor. I run my own shop here in Rochester called Trester Tailor. May have heard of it.
It's amazing. Right on Broadway. I love it.
Soon to be just off Broadway. I'm going to be moving at the end of February. But yeah.
Okay. Well, good luck with your move. Yeah.
Thank you. And I also run MidModdities, which is vintage and fun finds, I guess, retail establishment. I'm not in a brick and mortar place, but I'm on Instagram.
Yes, MidModdities on Instagram. I love following you on Instagram. It is so fun. I live in a 60s style walkout ranch. It's mid-modern adjacent, not totally there, but the things that you find are just, they are my vibe, and I love them. So you can follow her. She does the hard work of finding all those amazing vintage finds that you just don't have the time to go through Goodwill and the antique store for yourself. So I found so many good things. Anyways.
Well, thank you.
Let's get on to these questions. So right here. What makes you good at your job?
I guess it applies to both gigs, that I have an extreme eye for detail that borders on perfectionist obsessive.
Well, I mean, that's a good thing if you're a tailor.
Which is, yes, but sometimes it is detrimental to productivity because I fixate as like, how many times am I going to redo this thing? But but no, an eye for detail and, you know, being a stickler for doing it right, I guess has given me the reputation that I do a good job. So I take pride in that. People, say, you read the reviews, they're like, you're the best tailor, and I don't like that label, but it's nice to hear that sometimes.
It's nice to have that affirmation, I suppose. And am I right? You come from a family of tailors?
Kind of. There was a long gap in between.
But it's in your heritage.
Yes. So my dad's side of the family, the Trester side of the family, they came from Germany in like the 1850s, something like that. And the first set of Tresters to come from Germany to Wisconsin were tailors. They were specifically master cutters, which is they cut out the fabric and such. But yeah, they had a retail store in downtown Sheboygan. The building is still there today. I can't remember with the business that's in there now.
That is so cool.
But yeah, it's cool. But there's always been an element of sewing in my family. My grandma is like an amazing quilter and just does stuff. She makes like these little teddy bears. She altered my sister's wedding dress.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, there's
a lot of skill in altering clothing to make it look presentable and wearable. I have a lot of respect for the profession, that's for sure.
yeah,
all right, let's see what's next here. Best dish in Rochester.
This is a tough one to answer because there's a lot of tasty things out there. Exactly. A lot of new stuff all the time. But the thing that I always people that like, you know, what do you want for dinner? And I'm always I want to go to Thai Pop. Yeah. And I want to get the cow soy, which is like kind of like a Thai ramen. I don't know if you've had it.
I have had it.
You know.
It's
like a Thai ramen where it's got like the squiggly noodles, but they're a little bit thicker and it's spicy and it's like zingy and oh man.
It's got all the 5 flavors, right? Yeah, like that are part of Thai cuisine. A couple of other guests have talked about Thai Pop too, and we also love the Brussels sprouts and the son-in-law eggs. Yes. So good.
The yum wings.
Yes. Oh, everything. So good. So anyways.
And the cocktails are amazing.
That's your favorite.
Oh, man.
Thai Pop, if you're listening, we love you.
Yes. Also, tough to get a reservation. If you wait till the last minute, you got to plan ahead.
Yes, you have to plan ahead or go at 4 o'clock, which I do because I'm a grandma.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Another food-related question. Best out-of-the-way spot for takeout?
I guess out of the way for me, because we're on the northeast side, is across town, northwest. I like smoke barbecue. I guess I haven't had like a million barbecues in my life, but I love smoke. It's very yummy. When I end up running errands on Fridays, I go to the grocery store, go to Costco, hit up Goodwill. Yeah. And I'm like, well, might as well get takeout from smoke. Just like,
that's a tasty joint there, isn't it?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I love that.
It's good stuff.
All right, let's see. What are some changes you've seen to Rochester since moving here?
That's a good question. I've only been here 6 years, but it seems like there's a lot of good new restaurants.
Yes, agree.
There's a lot of stuff focusing on family, which I don't have kids, but I'm happy that the kids got more stuff to do.
Yeah.
Definitely breweries and live music.
Yes.
And I think those have gone hand in hand.
Yep.
Thesis Beer Project has like a big part in that just because they're really pushing and trying to promote live local music.
Yep.
I'm partial to it also because my husband's in Clay Fulton and the Lost 40. Check him out.
Awesome band. We love Clay Fulton.
Yeah.
And Adam and his team over at Thesis too.
They're all awesome. And I mean all the breweries too. Thesis has, dedicated space so they're able to do more of that. But they all kind of know each other and
yeah, a lot of camaraderie amongst the brewery
scene.
They're
cool dudes.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. So
that's cool to see.
Agreed. I think the music scene has just it's been prevalent in Rochester for so long, and it's just becoming more and more vibrant. And I think it's so fun to see.
And I not have to go to Kathy's to see live music.
Exactly.
Because that used to be the gig.
Kathy's and North Star Bar. Big shout out to those two for keeping live music going for a long time, right?
Yep.
But now we've got some variety.
Yeah.
All right. What Rochester event do you love and why?
Well, this is going to be upcoming. Okay. But again, pointing to live music, Rochester Thaw, which has been an event that has happened previously.
Yep.
I don't know if they did it.
Wasn't it 2019 and 2020?
I think there was a little bit of break because of the pandemic, yada yada.
Yep.
But yet this year it seems like it is supercharged mode.
Oh yeah, and they just won a Downtown Alliance grant too.
That was major.
Yes, it was super cool. Yep. So that's going to be upcoming in March, I believe, right?
Yep, it is going to be March 25th, which I remember because my birthday is the 24th.
Okay.
But yeah, it's going to be, I think, six different venues, 30 different bands from all over Minnesota and elsewhere, possibly. I can't remember who exactly was on the list, but Nick Novotny, who is part of Clay Fulton and the Lost 40, he's kind of one of the main organizers. My Town, My Music, he's also part of those guys. They're all organizing that. So
super cool people. Yes. All super cool people.
Good people
That's going to be super excellent if you are into live music, if you like the music scene, in Rochester, make sure that you're checking out the Rochester Thaw. So,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Best Rochester adventure you've been on?
Forgot what I put. Oh, yes. There was, this is pre-pandemic, and I haven't been on there since, but we did a trolley tour of the breweries. But it was in April, and it was like, I don't want to say blizzard, but it was like near blizzard, very snowy conditions, and we were like, is this going to happen? And the bus drivers were like, we're into it if you're into it. So we actually, I think we were only supposed to go to 3 breweries, and because we were like having a good time, and we were, I don't know, just like the vibe was really cool. They took They took us to an extra brewery, which was a lot of fun, and the driver was cool, and I was like, that's cool.
Excellent.
It was fun.
Okay, Danny, if you could bring one amenity to Rochester, what would it be and why?
Yes, I thought about this, and one of the things that I experienced recently was I went to the Celebrate Rochester event.
The New Year's Eve party.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So my husband is in Clayville in the Lost 40s, so they were playing there. So one of the things they were also doing was they had a bunch of family events and such, and they had a skate rink. So I decided to hit the track, and that was really a lot of fun. So I think, and people who were there agree, because it was crazy busy, and there were children everywhere.
Right. Well, and it's like, downtown they have the roller disco too, and it's like, oh, it's such a short amount of time. And
I know.
There used to be
a
skate rink here, and it was called Skate Country. Man, that was the stuff.
Somebody was telling me it was up by Park Place. It was off of 52.
Exactly where Park Place Motors is.
Okay.
And I had my 8th birthday there. And I mean, that's where you had your birthday. So Skate Country. If anyone connected to Skate Country is listening, bring it back.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yep.
Love a skate rink.
All right. Here's a good one. What's something that would bring excitement to Silver Lake?
Aha. So Silver Lake, as in like the actual lake itself?
The area.
Mm-hmm. Okay. When you asked me the question, I was thinking the actual Silver Lake. And
whatever you want.
Well, then I got really specific, and I was like, tiki bar.
A tiki bar
on the lake.
Wow.
Would be awesome.
What? That would actually be really fun. I could see like the lanterns and a lot like Psycho Susie's up in Minneapolis. Have you ever been there?
I haven't.
It's very, very, very good. It's very, like, just imagine what you're thinking in your head, but on the river, and this would be on the lake, and it's so that would be a lot of fun.
Because they've got those electric paddle boat things there. I'm not saying you would like want to go drink and drive, but I think they could be mutually beneficial. Yeah. I don't know what like the zoning and regulation with like alcohol or whatever, but I think it would be super fun. I am from a place where there's a big lake surrounded by other lakes, and there's just like a very water-oriented mindset where I'm from.
I love that.
And then I moved to a county that has zero lakes. So to celebrate the water that we do have would be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun. You're right. That is a good idea. So
we'll
chalk that one up to a very good idea. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, I like this question. Danny, you're going to a movie and you have room to sneak in 3 snacks. What are they?
Can of LaCroix.
Hey, yeah, we were just talking about LaCroix. I love it.
Just because I like the fizzies, but I don't want all the sugar from soda.
Yep.
Because I feel like a crazy person.
Yep.
Although I do get an icy, but that I would buy there. So.
Yep. You can't really sneak
and
that in.
I would bring a bag of my own popcorn, which I have done because I'm a stickler about popcorn.
So do we like a lot of butter, a little butter?
No butter. I get like the blue husk corn.
Yes, okay.
Because it's a nuttier flavor, and then usually pop it in olive oil or coconut oil.
You are a true connoisseur.
A little bit of salt.
But no butter.
No, because you get like a nutty, like buttery sort of flavor from the oils that you use. And if you use like the good popcorn, it has its own flavor.
A lot. I'm learning a lot from you tonight. Truly fantastic information.
But yes, I have done that, and I stuffed it in my sleeve. So I walk in and it's like,
a long tube.
Yeah, you just like don't wear the coat. You just have it over your arm. It's like, no big deal. And then the last thing would be Butterfinger because it's delicious candy.
Butterfinger. Well, you and I differ on that opinion, but that's fine.
Oh, what's your jam then?
Well, I am partial to a Twix.
Twix is also very
Twix,
good. How do you eat a Twix? Do you have a technique?
I'm just I just
munch it?
I just,
I'm a weirdo and I like bite all the chocolate off first and then I separate the caramel and then I eat the cookie and just the combo of that's really good.
I'm going to be bizarre and say that the Twix has a good mouthfeel.
Yeah.
It's like something about biting into the caramel and then getting the cookie. Yeah, it just does it for me. So, anyways, bona fide weirdo right here. Okay, next.
We're all weirdos.
We're going to do one more song for you, and I am trying to... We're going to do one more question for you, and I'm trying to decide what we want to do. And I think I'm going to do... This is why I said song. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, song, right. Okay, so Killing Me Softly.
Oh, sure.
I try to pick songs that are in my race.
Our cameraman just basically fell over, so
that was like real Spider-Man like.
Real over here on the Rochester. Killing Me Softly.
Smooth. I've also done Give Me One Reason by Tracy Chapman.
Oh,
but I've got a whole like note in my app, in my phone, in my notes app of like songs. I'll hear them on the radio. I was like, I could do that one. Yeah. I could do that. Just because I generally have like a little bit of a lower range. Some of the songs are like painfully high.
They are high.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I love myself a good karaoke. And,
what's your jam?
I talked about this one on another episode, but I will sing Under the Sea. I know every word. It's very unexpected.
Do you sing it with like a faux French accent?
Absolutely. Is there any other way to sing it?
Okay, all right. Fair.
Right? I'm not going to be like, the seaweed is always greener. Nope.
I don't know the lyrics except for the chorus.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyways, Under the Sea. Okay, and then the last one. What's one thing you will always spend more money on?
Shoes.
You love yourself. Do you want to talk about your shoes that you recently wore? Were they not like some 70s platform?
Okay, so for Halloween, I was Lady Miss Kier, who was from the band D-Light, which, if you don't know, is the people who did Groove is in the Heart.
Yes. Okay, thanks. It's all coming back.
Yes. But she was like a very fun fashionista person, but she had like a lot of 70s go-go dancer influences. So I was like trying to figure out my Halloween costume. It seemed like a lot of focus was on the hair and the shoes. So I got crazy kind of platform 70s things that were very painful.
But
looked
outside of those, you like to spend money on shoes.
So yes, I have an affinity for shoes, which is like, I don't know, whatever. It's a common thing. But I worked for a shoe company before I moved to Rochester.
Oh, interesting. Who can you say?
Is a men's shoe company called Allen Edmonds. They're like a higher end men's shoe. So I worked there as a pattern maker for almost a year and a half. Okay. And then I decided to move here because my husband lives here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We were dating at the time. Now we're married. Before that, I also made my own shoes. They were kind of like a canvas shoe, like a Tom's shoe kind of. Okay. So I made those, and I would travel around to different craft shows all over the Midwest, and I made those and wallets and backpacks and other accessories and stuff, and I'm
learning all kinds of things about you.
It was a fun chapter. But yes, so I kind of have a thing for shoes. And when we got married, which was in 2021, I made my dress. And I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on the dress. But the shoes, I spent a lot of money on the shoes. So, anyway, shoes.
That's fun. I love shoes too. And I don't know what... I feel like it's just a really fun way to jazz up an outfit. That's my thought.
And glasses.
I'm the same. Glasses and shoes.
Shoes and glasses.
That's my thing. All right. So one of the things that we like to do on the Rochester Local Podcast is connect the locals now, like you and me, to the locals that lived here 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Or whatever decade. My mom, she's a historian, and she has been doing a lot of research and has come across some really interesting tidbits about life.
Does she work for a place?
No.
That was a weird question.
No, she doesn't.
Okay.
She just loves history.
Okay, gotcha.
And so she's a member at the History Center, and just went there and went through the microfiche and is finding really, I know.
Love that word.
Love that word. And is just finding some really interesting things. So she actually went back into the archives of January 1923. So 100 years ago.
Great year.
And I love this because this is hilarious. This is what she found. This is entitled, this was a clip out of the newspaper, "The Rochester Public Dance Problem. Young people must have amusement. Rochester is no exception in the lists of American cities. If parents cannot provide innocent amusements at home that are sufficiently attractive, it is natural for children to seek their amenities elsewhere." Mm-hmm. So they've gone on to talk about, there are these dances that were held at the Armory.
Where was the Armory?
It's the castle.
Oh, duh. Okay.
It's the castle on
That makes
Broadway.
a lot of sense. All right.
So that was called the Armory. And I'm trying to find that specific... this is a hilarious one. We believe that Judge Gates of the Juvenile Court has performed a public duty in the recent exposure of the attending evils that have been connected too long with a public dance in Rochester.
What are the evils?
What are the evils? And they're talking about the city should provide some form of amusement for its young people. The YMCA and the YWCA can only take a small percentage. The skating rink... it's only open on a few nights during the winter. The movies are the only other attractions. We believe wholesome amusements could be provided for everybody without any of the present obnoxious features of the public dance. Can you believe that?
What's going on at these dances?
I know. I just think that that's hilarious. Mothers should never cease to protect the care for their daughters. Parents should patronize every dance. I know, by their presence. Exactly. I just think that this is so hilarious.
There's also a typo in there that makes me laugh.
What did you find?
Okay, so it's supposed to say public, but they put an E on the end of public, so it looks like publice. And I couldn't focus on anything else when I read that. I was like...
Well, anyways, I just thought this was really fascinating for a couple of reasons. One... we're talking about skating rink. They had a skating rink. We would like a skating rink.
Yeah.
We don't have a public dancing problem, right? I don't think so.
Maybe that we don't dance enough.
I would say that.
Where do you dance?
Well, you
North
can dance.
Star?
You can dance at Elsie's venue. They have Latin night, and there's also Rueda in the park, Central Park. There's a Rueda dance group during the warm months.
What is that?
It's a Latin.
Okay.
Latin dance.
That's why I don't know it.
Anyway, but it's so funny because they're looking for things for the youths of the day to do, and that's still a common...
100 years later.
100 years later, it's still something that is commonly discussed in Rochester. So I thought that was fascinating and easily connects us to the locals of 100 years ago. So...
I want to know what the hubbub is about this dance.
Right? I know. The public evils of dancing.
They're going around and TPing everybody
after? Exactly. So the last thing that we're going to do that we like to do on Rochester Local Podcast is you get to put a sticker on our sticker board.
Woohoo!
I know. So our sticker board is, well, let's see. Oh, this is awkward. We're going to do it this way. Here we go. Okay.
Got it.
There we go.
Perfect.
I know. Maybe I need to make it a little smaller. But anyways, here we go.
Well,
so
then
this
you're
is
going
our
to fill it up.
I know, exactly. So this is our sticker board, and we're filling it up with stickers that our guests put on that represent something that's near and dear to them. So, what you going to do?
So I have here a representation of a sticker.
Yes, it's a representation.
Because I am a ding-dong and I forgot to bring the stickers. But yes, this is my logo for MidModdities, which is my vintage account on Instagram, but whatever. So I will add it.
There you go.
What's the best orientation here?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so go follow Danni on MidModdities.
Yes.
And also, we mentioned Clay Fulton on this episode. Clay Fulton and the Lost 40. Mm-hmm. Danni owns Trester Tailor.
I do.
So you can find them. And then we also mentioned the Rochester Thaw Music Festival.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to check all of those things out. But Danni, thank you so much for joining me on the Rochester Local Podcast.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. See you next time.